Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Late Night. Of course, I'm your host, BMR. I'm joined by the lovely Krista, Brandi, and Monica every Saturday night at midnight, 11 o'clock Central. Time might be changing. I'll give a posting on that during the week. Thanks to everybody for coming on in. If this is your first time here, please subscribe to Bigfoot Mystery Rob on YouTube, the Blondes and the Booze Paranormal Podcast on YouTube, Monica Rollins, Our Paranormal World found on YouTube. I believe I said Texas Front Porch. If not, Texas Front Porch on YouTube. Donnie Cho says stuff. Paranormal Paul found on YouTube. You can find us on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, wherever podcasts are found. Please check that out. If you like the content, you like what we do around here, the super chat's open. A great way to support what we do. You too. Also, you can become a BMR pirate. Arr, mateys. Join the many, join the few. Depends on your point of view. You get a picture of me with sporting a bandana next to your name in the chat room. Thank you for everybody. Thanks for one and all for coming on in. Really briefly, one other couple bits of news. As you all know, I want to thank everybody for buying my books. Bigfoot Mystery Rob presents True Cryptid Encounters, Book 1 and Book 2, found on Amazon. Thank you to T-Bone for 5 new pirate members. T-Bone, very appreciated. Thank you so much for gifting 5 pirates. Once again, type Bigfoot Mystery Rob in your Amazon browser. Leave a review. Leave a review. It's all analytics these days. It's all analytics that does help promote sales. Promote sales, I should say. Also, like the video. When you like it, it's analytics once again, and it does help us with what we do around here. And we're going to get on with it. I got a couple other pieces of news that I'm going to bring up. So I'm going to bring up Krista, Brandi, and Monica. Krista.
Hey.
Hello, Krista. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Haven't seen you in a while.
Right? Didn't we just have a meeting a little while ago?
Yeah, I've seen you like 24/7. Brandi, who I never see. Hello, Brandi.
Yeah, Brandi.
Hello.
I do see her on the Blondes and the Booze Paranormal Podcast. We're frequently Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And of course, Monica Rollins, Our Paranormal World.
Hello.
Hello, ladies. I trust your Thanksgiving was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
Hey, listen, there's a couple things I have to cover really quick. For those of you, when we start these shows, we don't get right into the spookiness, the cryptids, the paranormal, because we like to, chit chat, banter about, have fun. We do this 7 days a week. We like to unwind just a little bit. Not that we don't love the subjects we talk about, but we like to have fun on Saturday night. Mm-hmm. But I will say, and usually the first 15, 30 minutes before we get in the show, I must admit, it was even last week. And I got some comments. Rob, we love you guys too. We love the personalities and everything. But 60 minutes talking turkey, I get it. I will just say this. The turkey did not explode. My brother made it this year. So that was fine. So, yes, for all you worried about our shows, we do what we do. We have fun in the beginning and throughout the show, in fact. So I just wanted to bring that up. And also, one other comment that I got, hey, Rob, I bought your book. How can I get it signed? Well, in a couple minutes, if you come to our conference in September coming up, which we'll get into with Krista and Brandi in just a moment, I'll sign it there. But I was thinking about that. So good old BMR, for those that bought the book ready, you guys know how to get a hold of me. I have the email right here. Some of you are my Facebook friends. I put together Bigfoot Mystery Rob letterhead. See that? Letterhead. And I can sign this. You can put it in the sleeve of your book. And for those of you that bought both books, I was smart enough to make it double-sided, everybody. Look at that. If you buy them both, you get 2 signings on each side. So there you have it. Problem solved. However, we really want to see you. Thank you, Keith from Michigan, for an awesome super chat. But we also want to see you all here if someone can take down, thank you. Crossing Realms Conference, UFOs, Paranormal, Cryptid, September 19th and 20th, the Eagleton Civic Center, 1015 West Royal Street, Richmond,
Mhm.
Missouri. Well, blah, blah, blah. There'll be a map for that. So, yes, and a great little Jason McLean, thanks for the artwork. So, yes. So, with that being said, Krista, if you want to let everyone know what's going on the 19th and 20th of September.
So tickets go on sale tonight, actually. Well, in about an hour, less than an hour, they can buy tickets through Eventbrite. And gosh, usually Brandi does this part. I do the technical stuff.
I did say Krista and Brandi.
Okay, Brandi, you take this part.
Okay, well, I don't have my list in front of me because the list is quite extensive. But on September 19th and 20th of 2025, we are hosting a conference, the Crossing Realms Conference. We have some great speakers lined up, all settled in. We have Gray Goggles, we have Lady Ann Celine, we have Ron Murphy, we have Josh Hurd, we have oh my God, there's too many in this list. Somebody help me out.
Heather Mosier, William Lunsford, Dr. Dean Bertram.
We have got a ton. I swear next time I'll have my list ready. I wasn't prepared for this, but that's okay. That's okay. But let me tell you about this. Friday night, we are having a meet and greet. We're going to have everybody there, and we're going to have some pizza and some soda and just have a good old time talking. And then Saturday, of course, is the conference. Now, everybody will be there, of course, but check this out. This is my favorite part. Saturday night, we are also hosting a ghost hunt. A ghost hunt on top of all of this, and everybody that we have talked to, including our speakers, will attend. This is going to be fantastic. Even Monica's going to go in and snoop around and see what she comes up with.
That's right. Yeah, sure.
Well, we're not going to miss out on that for sure. So everybody's going to be there. It is limited tickets. We're only offering 16 tickets because it is going to be so full with all of our guest speakers and all of our guest attendees, which will be Ken Gerhardt and Dana Stricker, which is a psychic medium, and also a UFO experiencer. So there is tons and tons of stuff that's going to be going on.
Brent Thomas also from Paranormal Portal. Did you say that? Am I having a blonde moment? Okay.
No,
perhaps.
You're both fine. He's brand new to our list, so he's not even on my list. So I need a revised list.
You just got on the list. You just got on the list less than 8 hours ago. Less than 3 hours ago.
3, 4, maybe. Yeah. So and he will be traveling 22 hours to get there, ladies and gentlemen. So he is dedicated to get there. So, we've priced these tickets just right. We're trying to keep this in smaller communities because we like to give back to the communities, try to, give them a little economic support while we're doing all the fun things that we love. And I'm going to turn it over to Krista so she can tell you how much and where to buy your tickets.
So tickets are on Eventbrite. You can just Google Blondes and Booze. So they'll be on there. And then tickets, there's different prices. We had a meeting tonight and we discussed there will be VIP seating. So that'll be an extra, not much, honestly. I think it's like an extra $10 to get like right up there. So tickets start out then at what is it? 45 for the VIP and
35 and
35 for the regular seating, general admission. And then if for Friday night and Saturday, if you guys want to come, then that's like $60 for the whole thing for the VIP.
The whole shebang, VIP, everything.
Yep. And then the ghost hunt is just it's an extra added. And then there's also going to be a gallery reading. We found out today from Mary Lynn Bast, I guess is her last name. And so people can buy tickets for that as well. And that will be after the conference on Saturday.
And really quickly, September 19th is Friday, Saturday, correct?
Correct.
is Friday. September 19th is Friday.
And then if people come down early on Thursday, we might just show up somewhere too.
That's a plan.
I'm sure we'll be somewhere.
We all will be there Thursday.
Yeah, we'll make that announcement on Thursday sometime where we are. Because you never know what
see everybody all at once.
I mean, we could be at a restaurant, we could be in the woods, we could find another haunted location. You just don't know about it.
We could be in another dimension. Thank you,
Maggie. Another dimension.
Or we might be pushing Monica through a portal. I mean, we don't know.
Somebody's got to go through.
Right.
Well, I always agree to go through a portal as long as there's a chain strapped around my waist around a big oak tree. I will definitely go through a portal.
Come back with a white streak in your hair, like in Poltergeist.
I'll take it. I'll take that white streak.
Considering I don't have much hair up top, I shave it. So, what if I came back with a white mohawk? That'd be cool.
Well, you got to have hair first, Rob.
My goatee might turn all white. I still have some brown left.
There you go.
If I could go through a portal and come back out, I'll take that white streak. You bet.
Report back.
Yeah.
I'll take that white streak for life. It's fine. I'm good.
Yep.
Might look cool. Of course, it could be a skunk stripe. You know what I mean? I don't know.
That's it.
So that's be a lot of fun, everybody out there, and trust us, we are great marketing people because we'll be. This is 10 months out, you guys, so you will be getting inundated with information on every show for the next 10 months to the point where some of you might have everything like committed to memory, unlike our show times, which is why I ask everybody to turn on your alert bells. 9% alert bells. Kind of pathetic. But hey, you know what? Who am I? Turn on all. You get every great show that we have for you guys. Found, of course, on YouTube. And we're also on all the podcasts. So.
Right. But don't forget, everybody, don't forget, these tickets are going on sale in 1 hour. Actually, less than an hour right now.
Yep.
So
as soon as we're done with the show, Krista still has to work because she's.
I'm done with it. It's ready to roll.
Oh, it's ready. You're ready to hit that button.
Yeah.
It's already set.
It's on a timer.
We should do a live countdown right now. Oh my God, they're live.
Yeah.
Countdown in the corner.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be. Oh boy. Well.
44 minutes.
44 minutes. So I trust that all of our audience members and people in chat had a great Thanksgiving. Mine was cool. My Lions won 11-1 Lions. Michigan, who had no business winning, 23-point underdogs. And Michigan sucks this year, but they beat the team across the border. For those that aren't familiar with sports, that would be Ohio. Yeah. So we beat them. So I'm happy.
Yep.
And as I promised, we're getting, we've only been jibber jabbering for 15 minutes, which is pretty good. But I want to start this story a little earlier than usual, simply because I want to take my time with it, because it might take a little bit to break down. Because it's got the elements, I titled this show Paranormal Attacks. Now, not sure this was an attack, but it was certainly something that is this is both kind of creepy, scary, and it's kind of sad, really. And it has all the elements of the things that all of us are into, and everybody in the audience. And email I got several months ago, and boy, I made a video. I put a video out on this a couple weeks ago, and I really didn't know if I wanted to do the video because of the content of the subject matter. I mean, it's PG-13, but it's after midnight. But I'm gonna get on with it, you guys. Just kick back and we'll talk about it. then we can move on to something else after that. But I think you guys are gonna find it kind of weird. I got this dude that sent this to me. His name allegedly is Jeremy, and it's a story about him and his brother Ethan. And as the two brothers were growing up, their father would always, they'd go camping, and like most dads do, they tell the creepy campfire stories. Now, this dad would always talk about witches and warlocks. He also spoke about how he did have a Bigfoot encounter where he's seen this Bigfoot carrying a deer through the forest, and it just kind of evaporated into the wind, if you will. So Jeremy and Ethan both, were fed a lot of stories from the dad. In fact, they thought that most of the dad's stories, to be honest, were just stories made up just to entertain his kids. But the one that they thought was the more realistic of all of them was maybe the Bigfoot story. And we're not going to talk Bigfoot with this story. It was basically that Bigfoot deer disappeared. So growing up, as both Jeremy and Ethan got a lot older, they started studying demonology, life after death, a lot of maybe more darker things they started getting into. They still were interested in cryptids and the like, but they were really into this demons and paranormal things, right? So Ethan went ahead, and I think he got a degree in forestry. His brother went to college and got one in archaeology, things like that. But they always had their forefront was on these other studies, right? Which they never got degrees in, but they were always learning about it. So Ethan and Jeremy, they're in their mid-20s, early 20s, I will say. And then their father just passed away unexpectedly. A younger guy, probably in his 40s. The younger dad, a younger mom. Dad passes. And the thing that was really upsetting, especially for both of the sons, but especially Ethan, was a year after the dad died, natural causes. The mom, well, guys, she committed suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't take the loss of her beloved husband, and she's gone. And the boys had each other, really nobody else, limited friends, limited family, and it was the two boys, Ethan, Jeremy. Well, Ethan took it really bad, and he went to drugs and alcohol, and then he started really getting deep and dark into. He studied, he read the Bible, and he was into God, but Jeremy was telling me in the email that his brother also tried to communicate to the devil. He tried to communicate with God and the devil about what had happened. And again, he got really bad with his addictions. So his brother one day could not handle the way he was acting, never sober, this, that, and the other. Took his bro, checked him into a rehab facility. Brother agreed to it. You're my brother. Yes, I'll do what you want. It's only me and you, blah, blah, blah. And so Ethan, who was checked in by his brother Jeremy, he got clean, got rid of his chemical dependencies and alcohol dependencies. And so he was clean for 5 years. For 5 years. Then then another 5 years go by, a decade, and Ethan's still clean. So Jeremy says, you know what, brother? Now's the time to talk about mom and dad. Why don't we go to the place where we camped at, you and I, and just have a brother Let's have a real brother talk. You've been gone for so long and you're finally cleaned up. Let's go. Let's go out, venture into the woods, and have a good time. So, unbeknownst though to Jeremy, Ethan was experimenting with other things. He was still into the dark magic. He was into Ouija boards, doing all these practices without letting his brother know. So he was deep into this side of the realm, I guess is the way to say it. So they're out, they're camping in the RV. And they're there. Now, this takes place, you guys. This is in the Appalachian Trail off of a mountain range in Georgia, which is a very familiar spot where they would go to. The first 2 nights go off without a hitch. Everything is fine. The brothers are camping, they're hunting, they're fishing, whatever they're doing, talking. But the 3rd night, it started getting a little strange. They had a nicely stoked fire. It was a nice, mild day. And all of a sudden, Ethan tells Jeremy, hey, man. Well, first of all, his demeanor changed. Jeremy's telling me his brother's demeanor all of a sudden changed. He started getting very angry. He started talking bad about his mother and what she had done. How come dad is gone? And so he told his brother, I've been studying all this stuff behind your back. So this guy brings out a Ouija board. Jeremy, the brother, says, I want nothing to do with that stuff. We don't know what we're doing with this. I don't want you to put it back. Because they came up, by the way, everybody, in RV. I don't know if I said that earlier. But so he goes in the RV and his brother brings out this board. The one brother wants nothing to do with it. So after about 20 minutes of his brother just egging him on, look, come on, let's just try it. Jeremy agrees to sit down and have at it. Anything to shut you up, I guess, was his attitude, despite his reluctance. So they're doing whatever you do on the Ouija board. I've never played one or done one. I don't know how you do it. I know you have the planchette and all that, but they said they used that and nothing moved around. It was just nothing. So they both kind of laughed out loud. Oh, wow, this is a farce. This is a joke. Ouija boards are nothing. And so they kind of tossed the board aside. Again, it was really mild that evening, that night. Then all of a sudden, and they had that big fire stoked, and all of a sudden, the wind came in, a chilling wind, and the temperature dropped very cold, very dramatically. All the drops in the temperature, the wind picked up, and this fire goes out. The fire, this nicely stoked fire, just boom, gone. And then it was very strange. They hear a rustling from the tree line, and all of a sudden, everybody, all these animals of the forest race out. He says deers race out, and they race through the camp. Deer, a bear, a wolf, a cougar, raccoons. He mentioned all these animals, you guys, raced right through their camp, making all this ruckus. It's still very chilly outside. The wind is blowing. The fire's not going. And then as quickly as the animals moved through camp, that's as fast as they were gone. Okay. That was wild. That was odd. They both say to each other. Then all of a sudden, that extinguished campfire, boom, it lit. It was as robust as it was before it went out. They're like, whoa. And this is after the wind went away. So they figure, how does this happen, right? Immediately stokes right up. A couple of minutes go by and they look up in the air and they see this winged demon, as they say. It was Jeremy tells me. There's like a winged demon. There's this figure with like wings they remind Jeremy, Ethan, the guy that was talking, trying to get in touch with the devil. You're here. Says something to that effect. His brother looks at him like, "Are you crazy? You're here." And this demonic entity, man, is floating above the fire. And then all of a sudden, what appears on either side, both the right and left side of this flying entity, is an angelic entity figure of the Father floating. It's like illuminated in a white light. The opposite side of this demonic entity, and not so bright lights, was the mother. And the mother was grotesquely disfigured, but you could tell it was the mother, but knew something wasn't quite right about her. And she was draped in chains. And the mom and dad were circling around this entity above the fire pit. It seemed like they were fighting or something. Both of the brothers are just, even Ethan, the devil guy, was beside himself, right? Jeremy, on the brink of tears. "Ma, Dad, what's going on? Mom, is that really you? What's going on?" They're, frantic. And then Mom and Dad, they kind of dwindle away. They disappear with that beast still above the fire. And they hear echoing through a hollow echo rushing through the forest. They hear, "You always get what you wish for," kind of, or the verbiage that they kind of pick up. And then this winged demonic entity disappeared. Jeremy grabs his brother. "You son of a bee, you practicing all this, the Ouija board, we summoned something. What the hell's up with Mom? Was that Mom? Was that Dad? Was that the devil? What's going on with you, man?" Giving his brother the riot act. He's so pissed. "What did you bring on us? What did you do?" Ethan, I guess, tail between his legs, very apologetic. Jeremy goes, "We're getting the hell out of here. Pack up our stuff. Let's get in the RV. We're leaving." Jeremy and Ethan get the camp packed up. They get in the RV, and they're off on the main road. They're off. They finally hit the road. They've been on the road about 10 minutes. They're in the front. Obviously, they're both in the front seat as you're driving. And as I mentioned earlier, Ethan had a problem with drugs, upon what happened with his parents. Clean now 10 years. Excuses himself from the front seat of the RV where his brother's driving. He disappears back, says he has to take a pee. Goes back in the lavatory, the bathroom on the RV. And so Jeremy's just traveling down the road. And then he realizes, he looks at his watch, his clock, his phone, whatever, and realizes his brother hasn't rejoined him, and it's been at least 10 minutes. Now, Jeremy's worried about his brother, what happened. He yelled out to him, no answer, this, that, and the other. So he pulls over on the side of the road, puts the truck in neutral, puts it in park, whatever, the RV that is. Gets up yelling for Jeremy, goes to the back, can't see him, but he knew he went into the bathroom, opens the door to the bathroom, and there Jeremy sat on the toilet with a syringe plunged into his arm, and he was no longer with us. And he sent me a few other things in this email. I'm gonna leave it at that. So this guy thinks that he's now with demons, doesn't know where to turn, this, that, and the others. Reached out to many people. And this happened, by the way, in 2021, this incident. So it's about 3 years ago. And I really don't know if I wanted to do this story, but I did because, you send me the story. It's very, if people want answers, that's what I do. That's my job, right? And I tell people that, so I'm not going to go back on what I tell people. So with that sad story, crazy story, I don't know what went on at this campsite with the mom, the dad, the studying of the various things. So I guess I'll just kick it off like we always do. Well, Krista, you saw the video, I know. What's your reaction to this?
Well, one thing is the demonic, they're patient. So, they will wait long time, when you're at your lowest spot. So like, even though like the brother did get clean, but then, he could have had that demonic influence that caused him to use again. And then that's where they jump, and then being the depression with the parents gone and things like that. So, I think they played with something they shouldn't have played with. And I think it was around them though beforehand, doing things. And they just opened it up even more so invited it. That's what I think. It's unfortunate, but that's, they'll, like I said, they're patient. They will wait. There's no time on their side. Time is nothing to them.
They're patient and they influence you along the way also. I mean, I agree that was likely with him the entire time. And it was influencing him and trying to break him down little by little, right? Because they're oppressive. That's what they do. Like they put you in a state of oppression. And break you down, like Krista said, to get you to your lowest point where they can either possess you or, convince you to do what it seems like this guy ended up doing.
So do you think this guy, Ethan, who started really getting deep, the guy that was unfortunately got involved with addictions, right? And then really practicing and reaching out to both God and the devil. Do you think that he, in fact, did get an answer? He got something back from the devil?
Well, if he's reaching out to like the demonic, that's inviting them. So, that's the demon's playing card right there. He just invited it. So, and you just can't just say, okay, I'm done, go away. That's not how that works.
Do you think that he opened the door well before the Ouija board incident at the RV?
Yes. Oh, yeah. That entity's been with him a long time.
Brandi, your thoughts?
Well, what they're saying is I believe 100%, because it took forethought to remember a board to bring that on the camping trip. So he already had these thoughts in his mind, and he knew what he was going to do before he even got there. So I'm thinking that he was going to open up this portal or something to bring other things forth for his brother, to maybe, get him to come to the dark side, if you will. Because what other reason would there be to bring a board? Right. I mean, because if you already have that influence and that's already attached to you, you wouldn't need a board unless you're going to open up something else and bring something else forth. So, yeah, there's a lot going on with that. Because, like I said, he was thinking and doing all of the stuff before he even went camping. He already knew.
Right.
And also, Ethan, the man that passed on, wasn't all that forthright with his brother. I don't believe that the guy was clean for 10 years either.
He may not have been.
Not.
No.
I mean, he brought that paraphernalia with him and his brother on the trip.
Yeah.
That was bought out and planned in advance, kind of like you're saying. A man that's 10 years clean. I mean, I've never been in that situation, so I can't speak for that. Not thinking after 10 years, hey, I'm going to go do this with my brother who sent me to rehab in the first place. That's something you want to keep a secret from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, I don't think this was him. I think this was a demonic influence, absolutely, from what this, the story you told. Because I think that he was having a weak moment, which they say that once you're an addict, you're always an addict, but you got to learn how to control it, because you'll always want that. You'll always crave that feeling that you get. So maybe he was having a weak moment, and that's when it, that influence took over and said, okay, let's go get our stuff. Let's go get this ready. Let's do this upright. And I don't think it was necessarily the brother. I think he was having a weak moment And, you know, the influence was just too much.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta read you guys some. This is cool. I don't know if Monica is familiar with Dennis Carroll.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's a friend of all of ours. He's been on our shows a lot of times. And you know, it's funny because I put out this video whenever it was, and Dennis Carroll sent me a DM, right, about this, and so I'm going to share this. He doesn't care that I share it, and this is his point of view. Here's his thoughts. Now Dennis Carroll does study this stuff, demonology and all this, and he says, "Hey Rob, that was unsettling to say the least. That poor guy needs to understand that demonic vision was an instrument used against him by the darkness as a way to attack them emotionally and spiritually. And it worked on the brother already bound by addiction. The vision of the demon was a lie fabricated to cause this very reaction. They unfortunately opened a door in their lives to something best left alone. Their surviving brother needs to understand this and realize now that the best thing to do is to close that door open in his life with the help of God, and put his family to rest and find a peace and redemption for his own soul and peace of mind." But he also goes on to say, "So cool. If this guy needs help, give him my contact information." So that's Dennis, and that was his take on it, and it kind of lines up to a lot of what you all have said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think that, like I said, they both were going through stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they were both having weak moments.
Yeah.
And it was easy pickings. You know, it was easy pickings. If I was a demonic entity, that would be somebody that I would, you know, definitely attack, because like I said, it's easy. It's super easy when they're having those weak moments of depression and addiction.
Yep.
and all the things that go along with it. That would have been simple.
Yeah, the one demonic case that I did over in Salina, Kansas, that lady, I believe it was with her. It's kind of the same scenario. She was one of the only survivors of the BTK killer, and she was a prostitute, and you know, she did a lot of negative occult stuff. And then, you know, this was just 5 years ago that we went over there and did that. So it laid in wait for how many years, you know, with her before it reared its head. So, you know, they're patient though. They'll get you when you're at your lowest. And this lady, she was pretty low.
Well, you got to think about it. She had to have suffered PTSD like throughout the entire time. So would that make her weak in moments? Yeah, absolutely. Right. It would put her in like panic attacks, anxiety, all kinds of things. I mean, just reliving that moment, surviving the BTK killer. You know what I mean? So I could see that too.
Yeah. Yeah. And then doing, you know, like the drugs and prostitution. I mean, she said she was homeless and just, I mean, her life was awful, you know? And so, but it waited. It was patient.
Yep.
You know, kind of one of the reasons why I kind of didn't know if I want to do the video we were talking about tonight was because in my lifetime, I've had 2 cousins throughout their life. The most recent was maybe 8 years ago. The other one was maybe 15. That both were addicted. And my heart goes out. First of all, I don't understand it. I learned a lot about it. The two of my cousins that both took their own lives during their active addiction, right? I could never figure that out. Why did you do that? And, you know, and I studied a little bit on it, and it's something that if that's not you, I guess nobody gets it, you know. Like Brandi said, once an addict, always an addict, even if you're clean, because you might have that impulse, and anything can, as they say, trigger you. I mean, we don't know what that device might be.
Right.
So for me, it was heartfelt because I know 2 people, blood relatives, that had those issues, and they're both gone. And
well, you
so,
know, I can honestly, I can sympathize with addicts. Me, I was a smoker for a long time, and I know, like smoking's legal. However, it's still an addiction. And, so I understand like how hard any of that kind of stuff, could be to give up. So yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's for all of us that aren't in that situation. It's just tough to wrap our hands around it. I get that,
Mhm.
but here's the thing too that we've all talked about before on the show. We talk about, and again, when I speak, everybody listening, it's not anything. It's not offense against anybody,
Mhm.
but people that are under the influence or people that maybe are weak-minded aren't they? They're more open and more susceptible for the nefarious. Correct?
Oh yeah.
They seek out the weak.
Yep.
It's the low hanging fruit.
hmm
That's a good way to put it.
hmm
I mean, because if you think about it, while they're using and things like that, they're not themselves. They're not there. They're not. They're just not them. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like they're just an empty kind of vessel
Yeah.
that's available. So yeah, I could see that. Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, about the story about them fighting with this thing, like the mother and the father and the fighting with this thing. But the
Well,
mother was looking.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they
I
were.
was confused
Well,
about that.
here's my. I'll give you my take on it. You guys can, comment. They were. He said they were like fighting and going around circles around this weaned creature. The dad looked like he was angelic looking with the bright lights and looked nice. The woman a little more haggard with like chains, and they're fighting. You always get what your wish for. It says as the wind blows through the words from wherever that came from. But
Mhm.
as you all know, and I don't know what I believe. I mean, I'm thinking that it was symbolic in the essence that the father died of natural causes. You knew he felt bad for his kids, his sons. The mother took the didn't care about the kids. Sad that the man died. Her husband kills herself now, and I'm thinking that she's in hell because I guess. I mean, not that I guess. What I've learned in Catholic school, suicide is also killing. Therefore, you're going to hell. Do I believe that today? I couldn't tell you if I believe it or not. So
In
maybe it
some
was devil
in
versus angel. I don't know.
in some religions,
Mhm.
other religions say that if you commit suicide, then you have to become a servant. That you'll never be free to roam in heaven. That you will become a servant to God. So, or other ones are you'll be living in purgatory. There's so many different religions and what exactly you believe in now. Like I said, the chains on her is what is kind of throwing me off.
Yeah.
I think it just represented that she's, with Satan, and the husband is with
Yeah,
God.
it's symbolic. I think that that's how it manifested
Mhm.
in his vision of her. I don't know,
Right.
that means anything more than that's
Mhm.
how it
Yes,
manifested for him to see as
Right.
a symbolic thing. Because, if she took
but
her
they
own
both.
life, she's at a low vibration when she crosses over.
Right.
So
Right.
I would imagine she would be distorted, and whatever his religious views at the time would have been would be reflecting how he's going to view her coming back, I would imagine.
Mhm.
Especially
Yeah.
if he's having this moment where there's the devil for all intents and purpose in his mind, right? And then the father and the mother, and two opposite ways of checking out of this plane,
Mhm.
and his relationship with each one too.
Right.
He's bitter towards her for basically abandoning them, and his father, just died. He didn't
Right.
have control over it.
Maybe he had some bad thoughts towards his mother.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think
And
it's
that's
a manifestation. Yeah. How
right.
it chose to manifest to him.
Right. And you
And
know,
I don't even know if that was really them, or if that was a demon there, if it wasn't projecting that for his
Right.
for the enticement, like, come on, see, here's your mom, here's your dad, you know, look at me, look what I got.
Yeah.
It's like, get in the van, I got
Yeah.
tacos. You know what I mean? That's what it seems like, you know. But if you want to think about it on the flip side of that, I mean, maybe it was them sent by God to protect their sons from this thing. I mean, and that's just how they appeared, because, you
That's
know,
how it
again, what Monica said. Yeah, what Monica said about that's how they manifested them to see them. But maybe God had sent them to help protect them. Maybe they.
Because when he said they were fighting, he didn't say they were fighting the demon. He just said they were fighting. Were they fighting each other, or were they fighting the winged?
Again, I guess just open up to your own perspective. When I read through this, I'm thinking that the mom and dad were at odds fighting, circling around this winged
That's what I mean.
entity.
See,
I
took it as the mom and dad were fighting each other.
Yeah, I think they were fighting each other, the mom and dad.
Yeah, not the demon. They were fighting each other.
The demon was just there,
like pulling strings,
doing his thing, doing his puppeteering. You know, the puppet man.
So maybe it wasn't even the mom and dad. Maybe it was some demonic minions. You know, like
possibly, possibly, and that's how the demon manifested those to.
And that would make sense if that's how they're appearing to him, because they're going to pull from his mind how he's feeling about them, and they're going to project back what his feelings towards them are. So that would make a lot of sense.
That would make sense. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. But like I said, it seemed like that he was planning this for a while.
The other brother.
It just wasn't a last minute thing, because he would have had to go and purchase an Ouija board, and he would have to go purchase the paraphernalia and the drugs, and that sort of thing.
He might have already had all of that, though. I mean, he might have been. I mean, the Ouija board. Who knows why he brought that? But the paraphernalia, yeah. I mean, I don't think he was clean just from hearing the story. Like,
I agree.
Probably had it on him the whole time. I would guess.
And yeah, that may be something that the demon was saying. Okay, we're going to need one of these, not for right now, but you need to get this and hold on to this, or you need to get this and hold on to this, and that's possible.
Yeah, I mean, right now the surviving brother, I think what he's looking for and what he needs guidance for is he's got this attached to him now. Whether he invited that or not is there. Right. And he probably doesn't know what to do with it. Now, whether it's in his life daily or not, it's there. So it has to be addressed. And I mean, he needs to get in touch with somebody who's going to help him address that the best way that's going to resonate with him the deepest. Because not everybody's method for controlling these things is going to be the best method.
Right.
Now, let me ask you guys a question. In this type of thing, because this thing is kind of attached to him, it's part of him right now. What would be your first thought? Would you get in contact? For me personally, I would get in contact with a demonologist, because they know what they're looking for, so they could probably tell me what's going on, and they can direct me further. But who would you contact first? I mean, would you contact a clergy, or what would you do?
I would test him first, see if he is actually oppressed or possessed, and then go from there. I wouldn't just call out.
You would test who, Chris? Who would you test?
I would like find out if he is being oppressed or possessed first.
Stage that for it.
The surviving brother.
And that would determine to where I would and who I would go to.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I would contact, honestly, a demonologist first to have them test me and all of that kind of good stuff to find out what's happening. And like us, we can direct you in different places to go. I mean, I'm sure all of us know somebody to get you onto that next step.
But a lot of it is work you have to do yourself. I mean, it's not like I hand you, it's not like I take you to a doctor and he prescribes you a pill. Like I can take you to somebody who's going to tell you what it is potentially and the best methods to get rid of it or keep it at bay if you can't like fully get rid of it. But the work is on you. Like that person isn't going to like throw some water on you and say some words and you're cured.
Right.
It doesn't work like that.
You're wholeheartedly correct. Cause you know, I keep referring back to the Salina, Kansas one, cause that was the last actual exorcism that I partook in. But that one there, as you said, it's about you too. So it wasn't like, you know, it was gone and we left because that door is still open. So like, it was simple things like her house was super, super dark. Like, you know, it was a matter of, we suggested she open up curtains, you know, let sunlight in, go outside. Like she wouldn't leave her house. You know, you got to get some fresh air and some sunlight. It's just simple things like that. And we also suggested therapy too. There's nothing wrong with that, you know, because I mean, it's self-help, as Monica said. You have to have that.
And they attack you psychologically. They do. Like seeking therapy isn't like something that's beyond this situation.
Right.
Well, I got another question. I'm sorry. They're all popping in my head right now. Do you think that if somebody is like, say, oppressed, maybe not possessed, but oppressed, and they go under hypnotherapy, do you think that would be bad for them? Because wouldn't that basically put their brain to sleep and allow that entity to come forward?
But here's the thing, the entity for like a possessed person isn't in them 24/7. So same thing with
that would be an opportunity for them to come through. Do you think that's a bad thing to be hypnotized?
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that it would be any different than going into a REM stage when you're sleeping.
Yeah.
True.
You know, here's my thing about this. First of all, I'm trying to place myself in these brothers' situation because I'm a brother. You know, we're tight as rocks. We're tight as nails, whatever terminology you want to use. So I can't picture him being like Ethan, right? I can't picture him just being this, you know, person, you know, because when I view Ethan, the brother, you know, committed, took himself away. I don't like this guy for one. I think he's a liar, conniver, bad influence. I think he brought this upon his brother on purpose because his brother probably was over his mom and dad. And he was probably over his brother, and he probably thought that his brother was doing well. That's why Jeremy, the clean guy, he got with his brother. Hey, man, it's been 10 years. Let's go camping, man. Let's reminisce about mom and dad. I think that this Jeremy or Ethan, I think that he all along was just an evil guy. I think he all along was waiting to bring his brother into his way of thinking. I think he wanted to crush his brother. I think he had evil intentions. So this guy that got arrested, so I don't really care that he's gone. I don't, because I think that he was the instigator. I think he's just as evil as that entity over the fire. Now, for Jeremy, if it would happen to me, I guess the first thing I would have done, if this happened like yesterday, I'm calling you guys first. Tell you the story. I probably would then get a hold of a demonologist and try to work through it. If I did not know any of these things, or have any of you guys through the friends that I have today over the last 5 years, I would probably be crapping myself and not knowing where to go. But at least today, I kind of know where I would go. But I put this all on his brother for being an evil soul, and he's probably rotting away somewhere because I think he was the demon himself.
But see, maybe the brother actually kind of have to disagree with you on that because, you know, like I feel like addiction and things like that is a sickness. And so, you know, like you can be like, and that demonic entity, you know, put thoughts in his head maybe and things like that too. So I don't think he was evil. I think he was sick mentally.
Yeah.
You know,
I think he had
I don't want to
chemical
blame everything on
imbalance
that
that was
either.
taken advantage of, and I think he was led down a road. It's possible. Let me put it this way: it's possible he was led down a road
right.
that he would not have normally gone down of his own will.
Yeah.
I don't think that he is necessarily inherently evil. Did he do evil things? Yes, but do I think that deep down, was he is that who he was at his core? Not necessarily.
Hey,
Mhm.
but
I'm not
maybe,
going to say yes or no because I don't know the guy. I just know the
Right.
story.
maybe, and again, I didn't mean to be harsh on this guy, but that's the first thought that I'm having. But here's what I'm thinking too: what if this guy legitimately was clean for 10 years, and he brought this paraphernalia with him because he just wanted to bring down his brother, and knew that when he did this, then it was time for him to go. Maybe he was clean and sober for 10 years, but he was plotting this for 10 years. And I feel sorry for people that have mental illness. I do. Hey, listen, heart goes out to you. I've had it in my family. I've had people die of drug overdoses in my family, suicide in my family. I've been around the block with all these sorts of things. But I think that people, I think people have intentions. I think we give people too much credit and think, well, maybe the poor guy had this and that going on. You know what? I don't buy it.
Mhm.
But that's
Yeah.
just me.
Yeah.
I'm not a cold-hearted guy, everybody. I've just
Yeah.
seen so much. Owning a bar for 13 years, I've seen more than you guys can imagine. And half these people are just lunatics.
That's why at the end of the day, we can all agree to disagree and still be friends.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, if I were to say we don't know
yeah.
him, we weren't living with him for the last 10 years, and neither was his brother. His brother said he
Right.
didn't have any contact with him for 10 years. I let you see what I let you see, right?
Mhm.
His brother could have been feeding him a total line.
Right.
Oh,
And,
yes, absolutely.
you know,
Absolutely.
He could have been addicted the entire time and dabbling
Yes.
in the stuff the whole time.
JD makes a good
Yes.
point. They both were going down dark roads because the other guy, I'm not let off the hook either. They were studying this weird stuff. Well, I can't say. Well, we all are into it. So, but hey, listen, they
We can't really say that's not, yeah, we
that,
don't.
right? But maybe okay. I tell you, I'll be a little more lenient. The brother should investigate a little bit more with his brother. How you know? I mean, all of a sudden, his brother
he
changed
didn't,
demeanor.
yeah, if he didn't
Right.
want to have personal contact, great. That's one thing. But to check to see how he was doing, how his, his rehab was going, to check out, to do all the things, but you don't have to have that kind of contact. You don't have to call your brother every day, and you don't have to do this.
Yeah.
But I think he should have had more contact, just to check him out.
And but a lot of the people in chat are saying that we all are mental cases and lunatics. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
we are. Hey, listen, I'm not all there. I know that for a fact.
And we've all got a trauma we're dealing with. Trust me, we've all got a
Yes.
trauma.
Yes, we do. We all deal
Yeah.
with it differently.
Yeah, there's something. Everybody has got their own demons, and I don't mean that of that,
yeah,
but you know what I mean.
yeah. It's
Pardon
just
the
a
pun.
word we all throw. Yeah, my demon is, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
we're suffering from something.
Yeah, everybody's fighting their own fight on the inside, right? And
There you go.
some are stronger than others, and some have things come to them. Some of them dabble in stuff they're not supposed to, and they have things attached to them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And like Krista said, they're patient.
That's one of the things I said in that video. At the end of that video, I said, and everybody, if you learned anything from this, don't deal or dabble in things you have no business doing. Where you have no idea.
Don't call
what
up things you
you're doing.
can't put down. That's like the number one rule.
No,
You can't put it down. Don't call it up.
The stove is hot. Don't touch the burner.
That's right.
Well, that stands for a lot of things. I mean, right. That stands for a lot of things
Go
in
ahead
life.
and stick that fork in the socket and see what happens.
Exactly.
I must admit, I tried that. I did.
If you know you're going to get burned, don't touch it.
Yeah.
Just stop.
I did
Stop right now.
I did stick a fork in a socket.
I stuck a butter knife in a socket in front of a mirror because I realized when I did it, it made my hair stand up, and I thought that was cool when I was like 5 years old.
That's funny. Too
Yeah.
funny.
So that's how it all began, Monica.
Right?
That's how it
And I remember
began.
the contact. I remember sticking it in there and feeling the contact and moving the contact.
Oh
I was
Lord.
learning about electricity at 5.
I could just see her sticking the knife in there. Pull it out.
Exactly. I had
Pull it
really long, very baby fine hair that just started just standing right up.
So yes, she has an electrifying personality.
Yep, from an early age.
She's very shocking.
Maybe I'm just a
It
ghost.
started early.
You ever meet Monica Rollins? She's shocking.
She'll shock you. I promise.
Yep.
Oh, Monica, you're never going to live that one down.
Yeah,
It
Not that
happened.
one.
Well, eventually,
that one.
it eventually fades because I've given up with her disdain for pizza. I'm done with that one.
I think
Well,
we've established I'm weird. That's been like well established.
But now we know how it began. We know when it began, right there.
Oh, you think that was how it began? Maybe that was just a symptom of an earlier.
I think it just electrified the experience.
There you go. Thank you, T-Bone.
Thank you,
She
T-Bone.
does. Whoa, thanks. While we're at that, T-Bone, thanks once again. T-Bone is now gifted 10 new pirates. Ladies. Thanks to T-Bone. 10 from T-Bone. Thanks to Keith. Thanks to Keith. Maggie from Australia. And Donnie Cho, who says that he would defeat Bigfoot through the power of K-pop. Your thoughts? Donnie Cho says stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
it might just pass away to not have to listen to it anymore. That might be what does it.
K-pop won't last forever, and I don't want to tell him that.
I don't know.
But as with every trend, it does go away. You just have to get older like us, Donnie, and then it becomes the classics. Sorry.
Yeah, I remember when the classics were classics. I don't consider what I hear today as classics.
It becomes elevator music. Oh boy.
Oh.
Trap audience.
No.
It's music. It becomes music.
You know what's really offensive is when you're rolling through the grocery store and what you listened to in high school is emphasized on the grocery store intercom.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Or you start dancing to it while you're, grocery shopping, and you're like, okay, this is good. Or singing. Either way.
Or when they say our high school music is now on the classic rock stations.
Oh yeah, classic.
Well, here for St. Louis, there was an oldies station, and now all of the classic rock that's good is now all on the oldies station. So, yeah, talk about feeling old.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to figure that out. So what I listened to in high school was 30, gosh, been almost 35 years since I graduated high school.
Yeah.
And so when I was in high school, 35 years prior to that would have been, what would that have been? So 1955.
Yeah.
Ish, 50 something.
Yeah.
Did I like 50s music? What was that like? I was like, oh, I mean, I do like 50s music. I did enjoy that, but I was still thinking, man, that's old.
Me too.
I'm there.
Yep, there.
I am that 50s music for the current generation.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Turn on the oldies music and you hear Prince or something,
Well, the oldies music for me, like I've told you guys long ago when I was a little kid, my dad was a 50s, 60s rocker. So that to me was the oldies, because his stuff, And then, we were talking about Bon Jovi the other night on someone's show. He's on classic rock.
Right.
Already?
Right.
Yeah, that was the Paranormal Show and Tell. But Chris and I were also talking about Journey. I don't, in that band right there, and I'm just going to say this, has crossed generations. There are many bands that have crossed generations, but Journey is one of them. Because I'll tell you what, I seen some 20-something-year-olds singing "Don't Stop Believing," and I'm like, there you are. See, it crossed generations, and there's some bands that are doing that, but there are a lot of bands that are not. Like John Bon Jovi is, because these younger kids know "Living on a Prayer." They know that song.
Yes.
It
Talk about a crossover really quick with Journey.
Mm-hmm.
The new lead singer, you can't replace Stephen Perry.
Ever.
no.
But the new lead singer
Ever.
does remind me kind of Donnie Cho.
Mm-hmm.
What?
The new lead singer kind of looks like Donnie Cho.
I
No, he does. That's not a
gotta
joke.
Google that.
I'm not
Maybe
joking.
we should do it side by
I
side.
am not joking.
Yeah, we need to do it side by side now.
You know what? Wednesday night. Everybody tune in to Wednesday night to the Blondes and Booze channel on Paranormal Show and Tell. We're going to do a side by side with the new lead singer of Journey and Donnie Cho. We're going to find out.
And he sounds pretty close to Perry, I must admit, but he's not as. He sounds kind of.
Perry's voice is like.
No, this guy, and
Magic.
no, he's just not the same. Like these people are running down to the Journey concert with Donnie Cho out behind the mic, and I'm like, it just doesn't do it for me. And the guy does sound good. If you guys, if for the average 15-year-old who never experienced Steve Perry, then yeah, they probably would dig it because it's the same riffs, the same sound, same music, and the guy's voice is similar to Perry's, similar. But us guys would know the difference. Us guys.
Yeah, but that's like somebody who kind of seems like Freddie Mercury and Freddie Mercury. They're not the same. There'll never be another Freddie Mercury ever.
Right.
I'm saying for these 20-year-olds, they probably would dig it, but we know better.
Yeah,
we know
that's
better.
true. That's true.
But this dude looks like Cho.
Yeah, similar to Cho. Why, you got the picture up?
Oh no, she is laughing hard now.
The first picture that came up definitely did not look like Cho's.
Yeah, well, he is a Korean fella.
All right, that's the first picture that came up. That does not.
Yeah.
No,
He is of Asian persuasion, though.
It's
not
funny.
the dancer.
That one looks more like Cho.
No, Smurfy, I am not. They all don't look like Smurfy. Jeez, you people. Gonna get in trouble now.
I don't think it looks like Donnie.
Similar question.
That
I don't
picture
think
did
so.
not. That picture did not. But there are some where you very similar.
Well, we'll find some. Like we'll do some comparisons Wednesday. And
Donnie's not in the chat. Donnie, thanks for the $20 and he's split. I wish he was still in chat. Well, we'll get to him. We'll get with him. But yeah, I told you guys I met Bon Jovi, right, John? Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was cool. I can't picture him as a classic rocker now. Although he's got that white hair going, man.
It still throws me when I see them at their current age, because in my mind, all of my singers from my youth are still youthful.
Right.
Like, I went to go see Duran Duran like a year ago.
Oh yeah.
And they all hobbled onto the stage.
Is it still the original?
Who's the worst?
Is it still the originals, Monica?
Oh yeah.
wow.
I mean, Simon LeBon was singing, and Taylor was up on the keyboards.
So the problem is as they get older, they don't sound the same.
Simon sounded pretty good.
They? Yeah, some do, but most don't. Most change, and they can't hit those high notes like they used to.
Laugh every time I see it is the meme with the lead singer of Motley Crue and
I was going to say that.
Vince Neil and then Bumble side by side.
That man has got to be the worst. His voice blows now. He's fat. He's just
Axl Rose
terrible.
Great either.
Axl Rose.
He's awful too.
Bless him. He did not keep it together.
Those two
Yeah.
should go on tour together. They probably make $40. We'll make more at our conference than they'll make on tour.
Ooh,
know,
I mentioned the dude from Aha. That was the first concert I went to was Aha. Yes, he does.
Really?
Yeah.
So I was at the Guns N' Roses concert that they got in a fight and got banned from St. Louis for like 25 years.
No kidding.
The big old riot. Back in, it was like, I don't know, 1990 or something like that.
Oh, well, time's up. Then come back now.
Well, actually, they did
Time's up.
look into it or something. I did read something about it, but yeah. I seen
Yeah.
them twice.
Well, in my little neck of the woods, I mean, shoot, Kid Rock's coming back again this year. And we know what kind of problems I had when that all happened.
Randy, I think we should embrace it and we just go to it. Kid
You
Rock.
had
He's
a
a
problem at a Kid
concert.
Rock concert or with Kid Rock?
Monica, come on.
Rocks.
Monica, come on. Rob, come on. We're just going to
We
embrace
should
it.
embrace it and let's all go to Rock the Country concert.
Maybe I can keep my cell service. That's all I got to say about
We
that.
don't need it. We won't need it. We'll be at a concert. Who cares?
Everybody will be in the
But
same
I
place.
lost
and
my
won't need
cell
it.
service for over a month from the
You did,
last
I know.
go round.
Oh my god.
So maybe if I go, I won't lose it.
Well, I tell you what, Lolo, my dad went to Bob Seger. He introduced me to Bob Seger.
Mm-hmm.
Not in person, but his music. Yeah, I will tell you, for just an old guy, Bob Seger. He's a good rocker.
Let's go.
Yes.
Live Bullet, greatest album ever for a live show.
I like Fleetwood Mac too still.
Oh, I love Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, I do. I've always liked them.
Stevie Nicks.
I
Yeah.
really liked her. I always had a thing for her, that witchy.
You and everyone else.
You know,
Yeah, and you know who I still love, and that is Heart. Heart is
Oh, Heart.
still rocking it, everybody. They are still in concert. They're still out there.
And I like
And
the
they
guitar
sound
player.
remarkable just
liked,
at getting it out there.
I like
Yeah.
Nancy Wilson over Ann Wilson. Nancy was a
I
good
don't
guitar
care. They're both fantastic. I've seen them
Oh, no,
several
they're-
times
I
in
like
the
them.
last 5-6 years.
I think they're good.
And they're everywhere.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. They're fantastic.
The damn Yankees with Ted Nugent. Yes, Bristol. I like.
I've seen
Nugent
Ted
as well.
Nugent 3 times and that he puts on a hell of a show.
I've seen him a bunch too.
I like.
Def Leppard. I would like to go see Def Leppard.
Yeah. I've seen them a couple times. They're really
Yeah,
Seen
good.
them twice.
Pretty good. Yeah, I'm sure they sound good too.
I
Mhm.
saw them on their Pour Some Sugar on Me tour. And it was all psychedelic.
Back in the 80s?
lights.
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably
Like,
the
great.
one that I was at.
Great laser show.
My ex-boyfriend probably still can't listen to that entire tape because I made him listen to it like
All the time, huh?
Yeah, I got to
constantly.
see Def Leppard. I got to see Def Leppard before the crash and after the crash.
Yeah.
The before the crash was all the lasers and the da 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 da. After the crash was really unique because that's when they came up with the concept of putting the stage in the middle for the drummer, and the drummer just kept spinning,
Mhm.
and then everybody else was walking around his platform, and singing to the crowd. So they were literally in the middle of the stadium. So
Mhm.
I mean, they put on a fantastic show, and I don't care before or after. It didn't matter.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Keeping the show on the theme of music, but the paranormal. I got to ask you guys this. I always wondered about this. Jim Morrison and the Doors. You know Jim Morrison?
Mhm.
Dead or alive? For real?
Dead.
For real, dead.
Do you think that he disappeared? He could be dead now. What do you think there's wasn't there some mystery behind his falling off the planet all of a sudden?
Mhm.
Was his body ever found? I know
Well,
they have a graveyard.
I think he was too young. I think he's gone. I think he's gone. He's too young. Now, if you were to talk to me about Elvis, that would be a different story because
Elvis
he was
spotted
up
in
there in
Kalamazoo,
age,
Michigan,
and
not
he
too long
was-
ago.
yeah. Well, Elvis was up there in age, and he was just tired of the crap. He had to take stuff to stay awake. He had to take stuff to fall asleep. He was just tired of the crap, and he's like, I can't take no more. So if he just went off grid, I'd understand that.
You know
You
what?
know?
Though, speaking of Elvis, I'd love to get into Graceland and investigate it. They say it's really
Oh my
haunted.
gosh, I know. Wouldn't that be
Oh,
that's cool.
awesome?
Mhm.
I'd invite all my
What
friends.
happened there? Heck yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd invite all my friends. I would.
Yep.
My 10 closest friends, maybe 12. Maybe 12, but that's about it. Because think about this, across the street, you've got the cars and you got the plane and you got all the other things associated with Elvis. So it's not just the house. You've got the graves there. You've got, I mean, there's just so much there. There's just,
I love that. I would definitely do that in a heartbeat.
Oh my gosh. If only.
I'd love to do Dracula's castle, but you know what? I heard that it's all commercialized now. So
It
it's
is.
not even
It is.
It is.
I want to go do Highgate Cemetery
Ooh.
in London. I think it's London. Yeah.
I would say yes, but due to its location, I don't know if there'd be a lot of traffic.
In
That
Highgate?
would be kind of, yeah, I think that'd be kind of tough. Just because it's outside, the outside noise. I have a lot of hard time in cemeteries because I get a lot of.
Highgate's huge though.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe if you get deep enough in it, you wouldn't.
Yeah. I mean, just with, being as old as it is, but also like all the vampire legends from like back in the, what was it, 60s, 70s?
I would, I would definitely like to take a stroll.
Or is it Greyfriars? Which one is it over in Edinburgh where people get attacked all the time?
Oh gosh.
You know which one I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I keep wanting to say it's Greyfriars, but I don't know that that's accurate.
You know, and if I would have known about this stuff when I was over there, I'd have just went and visited when I was there. I'm such a dork. I didn't know. Of course, this was back in the 90s when I was over there, so it was all not YouTube oriented, and all this stuff wasn't available to me at the time. So
I mean, that's where the history is. You can go into a field and you get something. I mean, there's like death everywhere there.
Yeah, you just get out a country road. There's a castle.
Yeah.
Okay, then you're there's a castle. And we used to do that. We used to take day drives. Honestly, we used to take day drives and just to get lost and see what we find.
That's cool.
And it was amazing. There are some castles that were more intact than others. There are some that are just rubble, but honestly, when you're looking for ghosts, it doesn't matter.
See, when I see ruined castles, I think fairies. I think fae.
Oh, some of them definitely look like the land of the fae.
That's just like immediately what I start thinking about.
Yeah, there were some of them that just look like the fae. I mean, they just look like definitely woodland fairy.
Right.
Definitely.
Another creepy band I like to investigate is Led Zeppelin. I like to see Jimmy Page's place.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
They had to be into some dark arts. Jimmy
But
Page
I would just like to do something mysterious, like Prince's house.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be a little mysterious. I wouldn't even know what I'd find up in there. Because he was a mysterious kind of guy. Everything was all hush hush. He always spoke in like. Yep. He was always cryptic when he would speak. He would tell you a little bit, but he wouldn't tell you everything.
Another one to investigate would be Michael Jackson's place.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
It's abandoned.
Neverland or whatever it's called, Neverland or whatever.
Yeah,
it's abandoned. Everybody. Right now.
So on Jimmy Page's place, you want to investigate? He bought Crowley's house, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know that I want to get too deep into Crowley's house. That man was unleashing some stuff left and right that I don't know that
I think we would all. I think that's something we would get.
Yeah, that's possible.
We might bring something home with that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you're looking for that, if you're looking for it, it's possible. Now maybe he didn't get anything from the house because he wasn't looking for it. He didn't want it in whatever. But
let me ask you: do we have to be looking for it though, Brandi? With all this stuff,
if you're strong in mind, body, and in faith, there's no reason to worry about it. Honestly,
right? They won't attach for long.
No.
They can't.
No, you might go with a bout or something, but I mean, it really wouldn't attach itself to you. But now, if you were, again, like we talked about from your story, if it were somebody like that, well, then you got a whole nother problem going on.
If you're predisposed for like addictive personality or depressive episodes or
Right.
things like that.
Mhm.
Right. It's just like the Chris and I have discussed it many times on Blondes and Booze about the Exorcist house, the guy that owns it now. He's not ever had a problem with the house. Not
Nope.
one.
But he's atheist.
He doesn't believe at all.
Mhm.
So I mean,
I would think if you're a person with no beliefs, no nothing, just you believe, hey, get up, you go to work, and you're one of these individuals that's
right.
just boom.
It's like when you pass, you're just
it don't matter.
you're
right.
just part of the earth. That's it. That's you go nowhere. That's it. If you're that type of believer,
You probably don't get no attachments, so you have no worries with those elements.
yeah. I mean, because I know that if you've seen a ghost or something, you dismiss it as something else.
You're supposed to be a ghost. Yeah, go to hell.
Yeah, right. They
Not
just
that I
didn't
believe
say,
in
oh
that.
yeah, well,
Yeah, whatever.
I had something in my eye, whatever.
Oh yeah.
So he's never had a problem with the house at all. I mean, I think the guy's he's kind of kooky a little bit,
Yeah.
but he's never had a problem and still lives in the house to this day.
With his family.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't think I could ever purchase a house like that. I don't. Knowing.
I wouldn't put my family in it. That's for
I
sure.
sure wouldn't put my family
No, absolutely not. I mean, for my family home, no.
If I had like a lot of money, I would buy it, but not live there and just have it and use it as a research facility.
Yeah, for research, absolutely. But I would never, ever.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. Because what if something is lingering? What if something is there? And with my beliefs, and the things that I do, I'd be caught up real quick, without even meaning to. So, and I think for all of us, I mean, we would get caught up and wouldn't even realize. Yeah.
Right. Like I said, he has, nothing happens to him and his family in that house. However, Ghost Adventures did their 100th episode, and my old team that we were on, that I was on, went over there, and because as a team we've investigated it several times beforehand, and the guy's like, oh, there's nothing here, kept telling him that. Well, the president of my old paranormal team, he was, scratched right there on film during the Ghost Adventures.
Yeah, they did a documentary on it, and he was scratched right on film.
But it was on Ghost Adventures, that one that Greg was scratched on. Yep. So it just, it depends on your beliefs. I mean, and that's where maybe it goes back to the intentions,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, back to that word, intentions.
Well,
it's a very important word.
There's no intentions for anything.
Know, you guys, yes, I learned that from you guys.
Yeah, it's very important. Very important word. It's a big word.
Yep. It is a big word.
So I'm intending on going down to this conference that's coming up September 19th for all you folks, and the 20th for all you newcomers. I'm going to show the cool little banner we got. If you're just popping on in, Crossing Your Realms Conference, UFOs, Paranormal, Cryptids. We will all be there.
And I just dropped the link in chat.
Drop the link.
Under you.
19th and the 20th. That's in Richmond, Missouri. And yes, thank you, Krista, for dropping the links. I didn't want to go through the same ritual of earlier.
And the link does work because I checked it before I dropped it.
Tink.
We are officially live on Eventbrite.
We are live. Tickets are on sale now.
That's right.
So, like I said, I mean, like we have limited amount of tickets for Saturday night, and honestly, it's going to be good all weekend long. It's going to be fantastic.
Well, the thing is, too, like every one of the speakers have told me that they want to go over to the museum that night for the ghost hunt. So,
right. Well, and then Friday night. And then Friday night, you just never know what's going to happen because the Civic Center is located right next to the museum. And I have a feeling that there are ghosts that are roaming outside too. So you may get a peek of something walking around outside too. There is a graveyard out there. There's big history. There is a buried circus bear out there. And we'll learn all about that at the conference.
Yep.
It's
A
got a
buried
little bit.
circus bear.
Yes, it's got a little bit of everything for everybody.
Yeah.
Sure.
All the subjects, the ghost hunt.
Like Brandi said, there is a cemetery there, and there's
I didn't even know that.
also unmarked graves right in the front yard.
Yes.
Wow, I know where I'll be sleeping.
In the front yard.
No, not me. Come on, you know me already. No, absolutely not.
That's too funny.
Well, yeah, I've slept. Yeah, in there. Slept upstairs. Yeah.
We had a guy, we did an event one night and a guy wanted to camp out there at the museum. So we let him, actually, Kathy was just talking about this. So we let him camp, and this was before she stayed at the museum. So the museum got all locked up, and that's when our events would go till 4 a.m. And he was out in his tent, and he said lights kept blinking, turning off and on in all different rooms of the museum.
See, I'd had to pull out my camera going, okay, go ahead, do it again. Do it again, hurry.
Oh, so, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. So.
Yeah, I know, but it's going to be a good time. Friday night to Saturday nights, it's just going to be a great time.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And if you come into town early, let us know, because we'll all probably hang out on Thursday night. And
yeah, we'll probably be rolling in Thursday, rolling into camp.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get me a room at the museum, I think.
Get you a room at the museum.
That's right.
Yeah.
We've stayed there. Me and Brandi have stayed there.
I'm not opposed to it.
I know, yeah.
I'm not either. I sleep good at the museum. I have no problem sleeping there. I mean, especially in the apartment, because they know the rules. Them ghosts, they know the rules. They don't come in there.
Yeah, but they sure bother you when you go to the bathroom. No, that's all I got to say.
Ghosts,
when you're out in the other part of it. Yeah.
Ghosts to follow rules.
They follow the rules, yes, because you have to kind of put boundaries down.
And Kathy has boundaries, and she has that place. It's full. The apartment part of the museum, she is. She has iron all over there. Yeah, everything you can think of in the museum around the apartment part. So.
But I will tell you this, though. I did get up in the morning because I heard people walking downstairs. I thought everybody was up. So I'm like, okay, I got up, walked downstairs. I didn't see anybody, didn't hear anybody. And I'm like, wait, I got to go to the bathroom. So as I'm walking down to the bathroom, I see Paranormal Paul. He's all the way in the last room on the end. And he's laying in his bed. He's sleeping. I'm like, okay. Because actually, my deal was I thought there was coffee being made, so I was going to get up and get some. You know what I mean? I'm like, ooh, someone got up and made coffee. And that was my whole thing. So I was going to do that. And then next thing you know, I go into the bathroom, I shut the door, and it's a two-stall. It's a two-stall in there. And I hear somebody with heavy footsteps, mind you, walking all the way to the door, and then it was silent. I get done doing my business. I open the door. I look in the hall, down the hallway. Paul is still sleeping. So I'm like, okay, maybe some of the other ones got up. Well, I walk all the way down to the other where the apartment is, went into the apartment, walked around. Everybody's still sleeping. Nobody even woke up with me walking in there. And I'm like, this is not funny, because whatever it was is probably a peeper.
There is one that does go into the bathroom, but they will, the downstairs bathroom, you got to tell him to get out, and he will get out. He will listen, but he will try to go in there with new people.
Well, he's probably in there with me, because I didn't tell him to get out.
So,
I just thought him
what
coming
does he
straight
do?
to the footsteps ended right at the door.
So, what happens if he's in the bathroom while you're, doing your thing?
Oh,
being a peeper.
Yeah.
What do we
Can
need?
you feel him?
But he's not okay. So in the downstairs bathroom or the main bathroom at the museum, so there's stalls, but there's one like toilet there. So he's like more out on where you wash your hands and stuff. He doesn't like come in the stall with you.
Oh,
But I always tell him to leave. Like, yeah, and he always leaves. He's respectful ghost.
Except for the
Sort
fact
of.
that he followed you in the
Somebody's
bath.
trying to scare the living bejesus out of me when I'm, on the toity, and then here comes these heavy man footsteps down there, and I'm like, oh my
well,
gosh,
that'd be a little bit unnerving.
it is first thing in the morning. I'm like, I haven't even had my coffee. Don't start your
Well,
shit.
that's the hallway though. That's where you hear all the footsteps. The steps are right there. You hear them go up and down the steps. So.
Yeah, this came down the hallway and right to the bathroom door. I said, don't start your shiitake. I haven't had my coffee. Don't start. It's not yet. Let me wake up and then we'll go. Okay. But yeah, that was, I think there's a lot of crazy things that were happening that weekend. It was just a crazy night investigating anyway. But yeah, I don't know. The place is a lot of fun. It is.
Yeah.
So it looks like we have our first ticket holders.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Yay to Mickey.
Yay to Mickey.
Mickey's fantastic. Both you gals met Mickey.
We
Yes.
did. Yeah, she's awesome.
Yes. And her son Brandon. Yes.
She is
Sure
awesome.
did.
Yep.
That's awesome. And this is another great thing too. I think this conference is going to be fantastic. We have a lot to offer, a lot more than a lot of conferences, by the way. And we're not just saying that because we're putting it on. But one of the things I do love is when I meet all our lovely people that come into our chat rooms and our subscribers. I really like that. I have a lot of fun. I'm humbled by that. That there's a little following going on, and that's really awesome.
Like, honestly, there's so many people in our chats that have actually really become our friends.
Yeah,
good people.
Yep, absolutely. So Mickey, it looks like I just looked. She is coming. Her and Brandon are coming to the meet and greet with us too. So that'll be fun.
Awesome.
Yay!
Well, then she'll get to meet everybody else too. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yep, very cool.
I don't know. I mean, maybe we should all like sleep over at the museum and see.
Hey man, I thought, you know what? 3 weeks ago or 2 months ago, I thought that was an option. And the big wimp of all of us, said, "Yeah, I'm game as long as you guys are going. I'm not going to go get a room by myself."
Not by yourself.
I mean, honestly, like
I'm not going to sit in a room with a spectrograph or whatever the hell you guys use.
We could do it Thursday night. You know that, right?
We could probably. I know Kathy will let us stay there if we want to stay there, like go Thursday night and crash there in the apartment or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm game for it. I'm game for it. I'm ready.
I'll probably get taken advantage of because I will be inebriated Thursday night.
Because I've got more things that I want to test out. So a little bit of more experiments that I want to test out while I'm sleeping. So yeah, I would be up for it. I would do it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
T-Bone, you're too kind.
Yes.
15 new BMR pirates on T-Bone. Ladies.
No, but I think,
You rock, T-Bone. You rock, buddy.
Yeah, I could do it. Yeah.
I mean, if you guys want to,
hey, listen, I'm game.
She doesn't mind.
I just don't want to be taken advantage of if I got, not from you guys, from the ghosts, if I got a little alcohol in it.
Look, we just talked about this. Look, me and Krista, there's no incubus, succubus things going on. You're going to be okay.
No.
Okay, well, okay.
No.
You're going to be fine.
Yeah, it's all good, though.
It would be kind of interesting with a succubus attack.
That would not be interesting. That would be awful.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's terrible.
What is that? I thought that was, a pleasurable experience.
No.
It is for the body, but not for the
This is-
mind.
Right.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
not down with that at all then. Nope.
Yeah,
Nope,
because
no
you'd be
mind.
screaming in your head.
I don't want
you
to
know.
mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Brown Dwarf says, I'd be down for a sleepover, but I don't want to sleep next to Rob.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, no, Brown. No.
Oh,
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I say we take all different spots around.
Yeah. You know.
If you're adventurous.
Mhm.
I said like a long time. I thought we were going to do this. I'm down. I'm in. Absolutely.
It-
See, the
but
deal
it- I
was,
mean-
is Kathy's, she's got an apartment there. She just bought a house now, so she doesn't have to stay at the apartment. So if she doesn't have to stay there, then she doesn't. So I have to, let me clear it with her first because she'll be in her house. And she needs to get out of the apartment because the last few caretakers have died. And
Yeah. What is the last 3?
Oh, hey.
So yeah, she needs to get out of
After
there.
you're sleeping, Rob.
Huh? Yeah.
Mhm.
In the museum. Now, this is not just
sorry.
somewhere else. This was in the museum.
Mhm. Yeah, they've literally died there.
So
Oh.
not only do you have the other ghosts and stuff, you've got past caretakers
Mhm.
died in the whole building. So yeah. So that's what makes us like, Kathy, get out. Kathy, get out. Kathy, get out.
I was relieved when she bought her house. So
Right. But I mean, if you're a little apprehensive about sleeping out in the building itself, the apartment is very, very safe and secure.
that's where I stay. I don't sleep anywhere but the apartment.
I sleep all over now. I'm good with it because I want to know.
Yeah. I mean,
If you want to watch me snore, okay, great.
hey, I'd be able to
Just
step
make
out
some
of my
noise,
comfort
knock
zone
some
a
stuff
little bit.
around, walk. Give me something to listen to.
I tell you what.
Well,
girls,
and the
I-
only thing is too, you can't be allergic to cats because
No.
like there are 5 resident cats that are in the apartment that come in.
And yes, all of them with their own distinct personalities, and all of them are nice. But they
I'll
all
stay
have their
there
own
then.
personalities.
cats do love me. They
Yeah.
love me.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a few that are going to love you for sure.
Mhm.
Hey, where's our little kitty tonight, Krista? She been
Thank
around?
God she's not around me. She drives me nuts. Well, she gets right on. She wants to sit on my computer. Doesn't
Yeah.
work out well.
Right.
So. Mhm.
Well,
But I
this-
mean, we've got all this stuff to look forward to, for the
Yes.
conference.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
I'd be able to step out of my comfort zone with this little Thursday night shindig if we get it together. I don't know. I don't know.
Yep. I'm sure I can arrange if we all want to crash there on Thursday night. Kathy will let me do that.
Hey, save on hotel rooms.
Yeah, as
For
long
one night.
Yeah.
I'm actually staying at Kathy's new house that weekend. I'm not even getting a hotel room.
well, lottie da for you, Kristen. Lottie da.
I always invade her whenever I go up there. She doesn't care.
Well, before we go, thanks T-Bone for your awesome 15 memberships, 15 pirates. Keith, Maggie, Donnie. I think there's another person. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Thank you for all the memberships and the super chats. Love you all. It's always appreciated, not expected. It's really great of everybody. Please like the video or the show on your way out. Subscribe if you're new. Subscribe to the Blondes and the Booze Paranormal Podcast on YouTube. Monica Rollins, Our Paranormal World. Bigfoot, Michigan. Rob, Texas from Porch. Donnie Cho says so. Paranormal Paul. One other one. I think I got them all. But yes, thanks to everybody for coming in. Appreciate everybody. Today is Saturday. Yeah, today's Sunday. So yeah, we'll be back in business Monday. Back in business on Monday. I'm really just wasting time so I can line up the exit button, as y'all know. Well, y'all know.
10 extra minutes just because he's trying to find the
Yeah,
button.
I just coming up with stuff before I hit the extra button. And there it is. Thanks, Monica, Krista, Brandi, and everybody in the chat room. Like, share on your way out. I am BMR. Until next time.
Good night.
Peace
See
and love.
y'all.